Hello, it's Robin the Artsy Bohemian coming to you from my studio in Los Angeles, California. Today is day 4 of our 12 days of Christmas, and I'm going to show you how to make these really cool decorations for the holiday. We're using vintage old bulbs, Christmas bulbs. These are the ones I got from eBay. They're so cute. They're in the original packaging. So you can use new ones if you want, which, look like this. We always have ones that don't work when you turn them on and put them on your Christmas tree. So you can just take those, the ones that don't work anymore, and use them for the project. I'm going to show you 2 ways. I'm going to solder, which is what it'll look like this. These have all been soldered. This one I used a crystal, but it's the same premise on an old bottle. This one I made into an ornament. Now, if you don't know how to solder, I'm going to show you another way that you can do this. Or if you want, I thought it would be cool if you wanted to take my class. I have an online class. It's a beginning solder class. It's Soldering 101. And you make a really cool sun catcher. And all of the techniques that I show you in that class, you can apply to jewelry. You can apply to this. I go over all of the materials, all of the tools that I use, the safety precautions. I give you resources. So I'll give you a coupon. There's going to be a coupon down below. It'll be good until next Tuesday. So you have 7 days to make up your mind. And I hope to see you in class. So yeah, this is basically for those of you who know how to solder, or if you want to just wing it and kind of figure it out while I show you how to do these particular projects. Go for it. You'll need a soldering iron. I use a Heiko 601, an FX, and I go over that in the class. I'm not going to go over all the basics of soldering, but you're going to need flux, lead-free solder, some kind of solid fireproof surface to work on, and an old bottle or a new bottle if you want. This one, for example, I got at Hobby Lobby. These bottles are new, and so you can get cute little bottles. This is the packaging that they came in. Super pretty. I love this purple kind of, they remind me of like a beetle wing. And I have quite a few old light bulbs. These are so pretty, these pink ones. They look like Christmas trees. I'm going to probably do a project with these because I just think they look like Christmas trees. So, okay, so you're going to need copper foil tape as well. And I'm just going to do one, show you how I do put the foil tape on here, and then I'm going to solder them. The other way to do this is by using something called epoxy sculpt. It's a 2-part epoxy. It's clay, and you have about a 2-hour working time. It sticks, whatever you put on it will stick to. And so I did like a little mosaic with beads on this one using the epoxy sculpt, or something called Fix It. They're basically kind of the same, but this is what it looks like. I'll put a link down below if you're interested. Also, obviously, you can just use plain old glue. You can just glue something. In fact, I'll just do something really quick right now. Just use some E6000. Like this one here, I was gonna solder it because I love how old this bottle is, but then I saw it's cracked right here, and I don't think it's gonna come up fall apart, but I don't want to apply heat because there's a lot of heat when you're using a soldering iron, and take a risk of cracking it even more. So what I'll do is I put some pearls in there, and I'm just going to glue the top, and then I'm probably going to put rhinestones. I'll probably make it real blingy. So E6000 is a great glue. It takes about 24 hours to completely cure. I mean, you can work with it within about an hour. And so, yeah, just something as simple as that. You can put a necklace on it with rhinestones, or just, you know, put a medallion in the center. So all of these things are going to be for sale, by the way, if you missed my video yesterday. Everything that I'm making in the 12 days of Christmas is going to be available on the 12th of December. And I want to make sure that you guys know, because I know a lot of times you miss out on things when I sell them. So this will give you plenty of time if you're just catching up, or you didn't know I was doing this 12 days of Christmas. So yeah, they're all going to be online in my Etsy store, and I will list the time that they'll be available on the 12th. Okay, so also on this one, I love how this was probably in a fire, because the lip of it was all wonky shaped. So I added some of the epoxy sculpt, and it's almost dry. And then after it completely cures, I'm gonna solder the top of it. I just love how worn it looks. So I'm going to be using a scalloped tape. And by the way, if you wanted to, you could even put this tape on and not solder it. It actually will stick. I always thought it might not, but I have something that I bought down in Mexico with just the tape on it, and it's held together for a long time. So this is copper foil tape. It's actual copper, and then there's a sticky side on the back that allows you to adhere and add the copper foil tape before you solder it. So I'm using that, and then I'm going to use a 1/2 inch copper foil tape too. Here. So this one, I'm just going to stick that right in there. These just seem to be the perfect size. They just fit in most all of these old bottles. These I got at a flea market years ago, and the lady that I bought them from, and I don't know if this is true, but she said this is what they used to give you on airplanes. They're like little liqueur, or yeah, I don't know. This one's from France. They're super cool. I just love the fact that the original artwork is on there still. I mean, this one's Seagram's. Everybody knows what that is. So I guess all of these were what they used to give you on an airplane if you wanted to drink. That's what she said, so I don't know. So you don't really need to glue them. I'm going to just unroll the copper foil tape and stick it down. And then I'm going to use a little bit of the decorative tape on the very top. So while you're putting this down on here, it's going to be a little difficult to do this at an angle. I usually hold it in my lap while I tape things. So I'm just making sure that the sticky part is adhering. I'm also going to go back and burnish it all. Another thing I need to do, and I already did this ahead of time, is clean everything with rubbing alcohol so there's no oils that will inhibit the copper foil tape to stick. Now, because most of these bottles have a lip on them and they kind of have an indentation and they go back out on top of the light bulb, you need to really make sure you burnish it. I'm just using my bone folder. You can use, maybe a pencil to burnish it if you want. Yeah, and this one's not sticking that well. So then what I'm going to do is I'm just at the very, very top, I'm going to put the scalloped edge, and that's going to kind of hold it all down. And then I'm going to just solder it, and that's it. They're not that hard. You just have to have the right tools. I'm going to burnish that some more. All of these things, like anybody who's been following me for a while knows, I get all of my vintage and antique, everything I get that's old, I get it from my local flea market. If you don't live by a flea market, you can always go online on eBay and just, look in the search for vintage bottles, perfume bottles, vintage light bulbs like I did for these. So it looks like that. And then a lot of times on the bottom of the jar, like this here, I'll add another piece of copper foil tape. And after it's soldered, I patina it to make it look like this. It doesn't look like this once you solder it. It looks like a shiny silver. And then to patina it, I'll show you how to do that. I'm going to turn my iron on and I'll be right back. Okay, so I foiled 2 of them and I'm going to solder them. And this one is a very old perfume bottle. The paper label is still on, but I can't really read it. And so what I did was because there was so many dips and valleys on this lid, I did copper foil tape here, kind of secured the bulb, but it was still wobbly, so then I added another scalloped piece here and then a scalloped one on the bottom. So there's 3 pieces of tape on there. You just have to make sure that they're overlapping when you do tape them, otherwise they'll fall off when you heat it. And then I added, this is silver copper foil tape, and it's just a different look. So this is something else that you could buy if you don't want to solder, and you can just copper foil tape your pieces without soldering them. So you can buy it in silver or copper color. So this one I did a whole line of tape all the way, just kind of outlining this really pretty shape. Okay, so this is the kind of flux that I use, the classic gel 100, and I have my iron turned on. I never turn my iron on until I'm ready to use it. It's just a soldering iron. This isn't the kind of solder where you use a torch. I don't like torches. I tried doing that in a metalsmithing class several years ago, and I about had a heart attack every time I had to turn the gas on. So I'm flexing. You have to flex everything. Those of you who know how to solder know this already. And I'm going to clean the tip of my iron off. This is a slippery surface. This is a fireproof surface. You can tell it's very well loved. I've used it for years. And I'm going to grab some solder and then just start soldering it. If you have ever done stained glass, it's the same kind of thing. Because in stained glass you foil tape your glass pieces together. The only difference being is I don't use leaded solder. This is lead free. I'm going to wait till this cools and then I'm going to add the flux on this side. I'm just going to do this one and then I'll show you how to patina them, and that's it. You can make a bunch of them in a day and people love them. They're great gifts. Glad you liked the snowman, the snow lady. Super cute. Fun project. Just lots of steps that you have to do to clean it. I mean, you know, wait for it to dry, everything to dry. But if you do a bunch of them all at once, you know, you could do all the heads, you know, at once and wait till they dry and then paint them all at once and wait till they dry. So you could do a kind of assembly line. Okay, that's it. I kind of like making mine lumpy, so I do it on purpose. I'll just add more solder blobs here. And then you clean it with rubbing alcohol when it's cooled down. And you can keep it the silver color if you want. I always patina mine. I like everything to look gold. I'm going to grab some more solder here. first. I'm just doing a thin coat, just in case I want it to sit on a surface. Cute, huh? Alright, so I'm going to turn my iron off because I'm done with that. This is still pretty hot, so I'm not going to clean that one. This one's probably okay to clean. It's still kind of warm, but... And I just use rubbing alcohol to clean it. Just have to be careful. Some of the paint will come off on these old, like this just kind of came off right there. So, because they're so old, you know, the bulbs. See how pretty? Okay, the patina I use is called Novacan Black. It's specifically made for patinaing, putting a patina on the solder. I'm just going to put a little tiny bit in the lid. You don't need a lot. And use a Q-tip just to apply it. I don't like to touch it. See how it turns black right away? And then it dries pretty quick, and then I'll just kind of clean it off with some more rubbing alcohol, and you're done. Got a cool project to make. Oh, great. That's weird, that just stuck. Okay guys, I hope you enjoyed that. It sure is fun. I'm gonna clean them off, and then I will have pictures at the end. And like I said, these will be for sale on the 12th. Everything I make in the 12 days of Christmas will be for sale in my Etsy store. I will let you know every day until then, just in case you're new and you just found me. Make sure you subscribe so that you can be a part of this. And also, when you subscribe, that's not enough. If you want to be notified every time I list a video, there's a little bell icon, and you have to click that and click the top one. It says all. That means you're going to get all of my content. You'll see it in your feed on YouTube. Okay. Thanks a lot, you guys. Don't forget, I have a coupon for you down below if you want to take a soldering class with me, a Soldering 101. And I go really, really in depth. It's a very popular class, and it's the project that you're going to be making is one of my most popular pins on my Pinterest board. It's been pinned probably 1 million times now. So that's what you're going to get. You can at least go check it out and see if you like it. All right. See you tomorrow.